What's my sin? What's my sin? What's my sin?
Hello. Is that
How's it
Mary?
going? Yes. How are you going, Shaun?
Yeah, all good. How are you? Yeah.
I'm really well. What time is it there?
It is 4 minutes past 3 in Salford, UK.
Beautiful. It's midnight in Melbourne.
Oh, you're in Melbourne. I've just spoke to somebody in New Zealand and they was 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
So
That's okay. We party all the time with Happy Mondays, so it's
all
nothing.
right, man. I don't do that anymore. When I finish the show now, I just go back to the hotel and watch the news and go to bed because I'm an old twat.
No, we're all very excited that you're coming back to Australia.
Yes, so am I. We're all excited to get back there. We had a great time last time. I think it was 2019 when we was over there last.
Yep, that's right. That's right. And I remember you from the year 2000, a Big Day Out festival.
Oh, right. Okay. Right, yeah. I vaguely remember doing that in 2000, yeah. I think I just was still at the end of I think I was just stopping everything, I think, then. Yeah, just stopping partying and stopping getting off my face, although I probably was still off my face in 2000.
And you stayed longer in Perth than did in Melbourne.
Yeah, I did, yeah, because our Pete lives in Perth. In fact, I got banned from Australia for 12 months because I overstayed. Yeah, overstayed. Made an album in our Pete's shed or cupboard, from what I can remember. I was in a pretty bad way.
Do you think you'll overstay your welcome this time, or your visit, or your visa?
I won't be overstaying me welcome now. I'm a good boy. I play by the rules now. It took me 60 years to learn to play by the rules, and I play by them now.
Oh, Shaun, I don't think you could ever play by the rules.
Well, I give it a good go.
Well, if I go back a bit, like when you started the Happy Mondays, I know that you were influenced by a lot of different music in your younger days. Do you think that helped with the sound of the Happy Mondays?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it did that, and we didn't have a fucking clue what we was doing. We wasn't musicians, so we really didn't have a clue. What we should do, what we couldn't do, and what we could do. So I mean, it was like Mark, our guitarist. We'd have him doing things. I'd have him playing lead and rhythm at the same time, or doing things that he's like, you can't do that. It's not in the book. So, we always used to sort of gang up and make Mark do stuff that shouldn't have been doing according to the music books. But, yeah, that and having a big different taste in music, really anything, from Velvet Underground to fucking Chaz and Dave. So, from Velvet Underground to Shiwaddy Waddy to David Bowie. I mean, the thing about all us lot is we just... See, music when I was a kid was very clanny. You was either a mod, a rock, or a punk, or this, and you either like that type of music or that type of, or Northern Soul, or whatever. I mean, and we just liked what we liked, So, yeah, and we stole off everything, I mean, if you listen to our kids' bass lines, they're like robbed off a lot of Motown records. So. We stole off everything and tried to hide it and disguise it.
Yeah. You did, but you didn't like being called indie in a way, did you? You didn't like the indie category?
Well, I mean...
Or you couldn't understand it?
No, I mean, look, indie... I mean, I'm proud of that. I mean, we wasn't a major label band, I mean, so we're still a little indie band, we're not, we didn't sign to a major or anything like that. I mean, we only wanted to be on factory records. It was just what got described as indie music, that used to piss me off because, you know, I wasn't a fan of jingly, jangly guitars sort of things, you know. So it was just really what got described as, or what I don't know who described it as a certain, that's indie, and I just didn't like, well, I didn't like independent music, just didn't dig, you know, what it meant to a lot of people, or what people thought it meant.
Yeah.
If I'm making sense.
Oh, you are. And I used to go to a alternative club where you guys were played, first time I heard you guys, but then again, you know, Groove is in the Heart, Delight was played, and then, you know, the Smiths were played.
Talking about Delight there, that guy from Delight, I watched him walking backwards, looking at the brand, and then he fell off stage, 20-foot drop, and I think he broke his legs and arm.
Whoa.
I mean, it's terrible, really, but it was one of the fucking funniest things I've ever seen in my life. I can certainly imagine Bez doing it, although, touch wood, he never has. He may have banged his head on something. I've never seen him do one of them 20-foot drops. I mean, Bez has come close to death and breaking his body in car crashes or climbing accidents.
Actually, with Bez, like, he's doing a spoken word in Australia. You're not doing any spoken word, any conversation Q&As?
No. If I do, I'll come back and do it. I'm not doing it while I'm on tour doing the music. It's too much for me.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And you have so much music going on. Like, you've got another band. You've got
Mantra of the Cosmos.
Yes. Yeah. They're fantastic. And when you said earlier about indie and the jangly guitars and stuff, I thought of Ride. And wasn't Andy Bell in Ride?
Yeah, Andy's in Ride. Yeah, I mean, he's probably best known for Oasis now, isn't it? You know what I mean? It must have been like early 2001 or 2000 or something when he just joined Oasis, and me and him walked into my pal having an argument with his pal, and then me and Andy got into it, and I just thought he was a twat, right? And I'd never seen him for 20-something years till Zach got the band together. And he's one of the most nicest guys you could ever possibly meet. You know what I mean? It just shows you what it's like when you're young and fucking stupid. Got a new Black Grape album coming out. I've got to plug that. New Black Grape album comes out in November in the UK. So I just thought I'd drop that one in.
Yep. Oh, I was about to ask about Black Grape as well.
I mean, when I've done, I think I don't start the Q&As, as we call them. I think I start that in 2024, I think. But as soon as I've done it, I will come to Australia doing that. It's just that I'm too old now to be like Bez, even though he's, you know, I've still got a couple of years on him. He's still in his 50s. I'm 61 and I can't go DJing anymore. That nighttime world that you've still got to be involved in is, I can't do it anymore. And so doing shows with the band, and then after that, or before that, doing Q&As or spoken word is just too much for me. You know, I like to take it easy these days, to be as chilled and relaxed as possible. Bez still likes to party, if you know what I mean. I like to watch the news and be boring.
The music industry's changed so much over the time that you've been in the scene. How do you think, you know, especially with technology? I mean, we had, you know, all those lockdowns and COVID, and how do you think it's changed for you personally?
Well, it's great for me, lockdown. I mean, you know, I know a lot of people had an hard time, but I really enjoyed lockdown because I got to spend all the time at home, which I hardly ever do. I got to spend, you know, be with the wife and the two kids that are still left at home, the two teenagers. You know, I got to be with them, and then I also got to do a lot of work because I got a little studio there, and I was getting sent tracks. You know, I got stuff from Noel and stuff. I was doing, you know, I finished off the was it the solo album? Yeah, I finished off the solo album, and did I did something with Lee Scratch Perry, which is about to come out.
Wow.
So I did something for Robbie. So I got sent quite a few stuff and just, you know, over the computer, whatever. Not being dead computer literate myself, but you know, so I didn't have to move. You can just get tracks sent down to your fucking phone now. You can, if you're a kid now, you can make an album stood at the bus stop going to school. You know what I mean? With all the shit that's in a huge big studio at your fingertips. So that part of it's great. Still today, I mean, it's, you know, still the majors still control everything. You know what I mean? It's like even trying to get, you know, one of our stuff on a playlist is hard because all the fucking majors are in there, you know. And so, but I mean, you know, the internet obviously is fucking sorted out a lot of things. You know, but yeah, it's just in one way it's just as tough as ever, and in another way it's just as easy as ever.
Yeah. You mentioned Robbie, and I was going to ask about songwriting. He loves how you write songs.
Yeah. I love how he writes songs. He said to me, yeah, I always channel Shaun. I always channel a bit of Shaun. You know? Yeah. Well, I tried channeling a bit. I tried channeling a bit of Robbie. You know, to you know, channel a few more number ones or something, but it doesn't seem to happen.
Oh, your songs are definitely like they classics. With lyrics though, you're actually seen as a poet and you don't even think of it as that.
Poet and don't know it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Songwriter and songwriter who can't really write and spell. Yeah, I mean, look, the way that my songs, especially, I mean, Kermit's the same when we write with Blackgate, but basically I write short cartoon stories, short, probably animated cartoon, mad black comedy stories. That's, you know, rather than, you know, as I see it, rather than writing songs. I mean, and also because I'm ADHD, I can never just have one thing going on in my head. So my songs are a mashup of 3 or 4 different things going on at once, which then I have to put together to make them make sense, right?
Yeah.
But also, what I get out of that is, because they are a bit of a mashup, it's what the person listening to them thinks it's about. You know what I mean? So I like it when everyone has a different opinion on what it's about and leave it to them what they think it's about. Because with me, like I say, there's about 3 or 4 different things going on all at once. You know.
Okay, tell me what Twisted and Melon is.
Well, twisting your melon. I mean, I actually took that off Steve McQueen. Twisting your melon means you're fucking with my head. You know, your melon is your head. Yeah. I mean, there was a Steve McQueen documentary that was made in the 80s, and there's a film producer telling the story of how McQueen walked into the big studio boss's office, and basically, you know, it came out with like McQueen wanted to do something, and the studio boss is saying, "No, you can't." And then McQueen comes out with, "You fucking twisted my melon, man." And that was on the documentary. So I thought, yeah, I'm having that. Just like Carly Cox. You know, there used to be a guy, he's dead now, Bobby Gillette used to run around the hacienda going, "Call the cops, call the cops." So when we had to do the John Congas song, Step On, for Warner's, was it Warner's, Electra's 25th anniversary, we had to choose an old Electra song done by a new artist. I mean, the last thing we wanted to do was cover versions. So we get a C90 tape sent by the record label, and I think the 3rd track on it was Step On by John Congas. So we tried to make it different, and I stuck in, you know, "You twisted my melon, man." You know, "You talk so whip, you twisted my melon, man." And then, you know, Bobby's running around the hacienda at the time, and I just took that and I called the cops to it. just to make it different. And then we sent off what we'd done to Oakenfold, and then Oakenfold danced it up, and so that track was actually meant just to be put on this Electra 25th anniversary album. When we got the track back off Oakenfold and he mixed it all in, it was just for, this is too good to give to the album. So we used it and made it the first single off Pills and Frills. And we recorded another John Conger's song, which was Tokoloshi Man. We recorded that and gave that to the Electra album.
That was a good move. But you don't have the rights to that, though, do you?
No, we didn't. We don't get a penny off it. I mean, even when we tried, we approached Alan McGee approached John Congress and said, can we have some publishing, just for he switched to my Melon man, Call the Cops and all that lot. There was a few alterations, and it was John Congress publishers and management or whatever said, no, you get nothing. So we don't really get anything off obviously you get your PPL or whatever, or when stuff's played on a jukebox or somewhere, but we don't get any publishing off it.
Yeah, that's a shame. Yeah, it's such a great version of it.
Yeah.
Now I've read your book, How to Be a Rock Star.
Oh, right, that one. Yeah, and you know what?
I loved it. So many stories.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about that is that most of them, I think a lot of them was in, you see, it's this book deal that you get, and you've got another book to do. And it was a ghostwriter, Luke Bainbridge, who decided, he said, Shaun, Peter Crouch's book, How to Be a Footballer or whatever. I said, yeah. Well, shall we want to do something similar like that? So basically, okay, we've got a contract that we've got to fill in to do another book. So we'll do that.
But you wrote it, didn't you?
Me? Well, I just told stories. The
information in it, in it, that was you. It doesn't matter how it's written. Yeah. Definitely. And I had all these questions, but they've all been answered in that book. So I reckon people should just read your books.
That's a good idea.
Oh, they're great. And I also saw it the other day on Audible.
Yeah, fucking hell, that was one of the hardest things I've ever done in my fucking life, that. I find it really hard to read. Yeah. I'm ADHD, right? And I just can't spell for shit, and I fucking find all that sort of difficult. You know what I mean? Really, even at school in the 60s and 70s, there was nothing about dyslexia then. You know what I mean? It's certainly not ADHD. It's only just getting big over here, if you know what I mean, drawing people's attention to that. Basically, I've got 6 kids, and 5 of them have got ADHD. And it's through the kids that, even though that I knew all my life, I've been a bit different, to say the least, and I found it, when I was a kid at school, whatever was said in that classroom, by the time I'd walked out of that lesson, it had just gone. I just didn't retain it. I learnt my alphabet in my 20s by singing it, because someone suggested it. It was my girlfriend at the time who suggested just sing it. So I sung it, and then I got it, but it was only through my kids that, my missus could spot that there was something not right. And she took them to get tested and everything. And it's not just my younger ones, my older ones, and they've all, so it was like bringing Dad. So Dad had to go in, and that's when I got diagnosed at 60 years old. But it helped me being diagnosed and understanding why I just could never learn anything. Or it's all about how you taught as well. There's different ways of teaching. The way that I was taught was just useless. So Yeah, really. My missus was a special needs teacher. So
It's good.
she got the star pupil. I mean, that's how she was right on it straight away, you know what I mean, with the girls.
Speaking of your kids, do they love your music?
Yeah, I mean, all my kids, I mean, my one's in 30s, you know, I mean, like all of them, even the younger ones, the 14 and 15-year-old, they've just been, since she was babes in arms, been going to festivals and going to my shows and seeing you on television and stuff like that. So it's just norm for them, you know. Yeah, they're big fans of Dad, yeah.
And yeah, you've been on TV a bit. How do you enjoy that?
Well, it's great. I mean, the thing about, I mean, look, we are an indie band, and at the end of the day, you know, an indie band that's still going and playing venues like we are, a lot of that, I mean, our audience now, I mean, we've got loads and loads of kids following us, you know, I mean, young uns. And that is basically picking up these fans on when we do the television stuff. Yeah. I mean, that's why we do it. You know, kids sees me and Bez on some sort of, you know, Gogglebox or some reality show or The Jungle or whatever. And, oh, who are these two silly old fuckers? By the time the first adverts come on, they've downloaded your old back catalogue of music. You know what I mean? And then they come to the shows. Yeah. So our audience goes from, like, you know, 5-year-olds up to 80-year-olds. Yeah. You know, we've got a lot of young uns now coming to, you know, loads of them. Yeah. You know, that's why you do it. You know, pick the ones out that you want to do, and then pick up your some young fans. Yeah, I think it's a great idea. Well done. How do you enjoy touring? I mean, God, I mean, the life I live now, when I'm from a start now, I get asked this a lot. Oh, do you miss the old days? Do you miss the good old? It's like, no, I fucking don't. You know what I mean? I started off the band at 18. I went through my 20s and 30s and 40s, you know, great time, more ups than downs, right? But I do now enjoy where I'm at and the age I'm at more than anything. You know what I mean? It's like I keep saying it. With us lot now, the band's got better. You know, we're all compass mente. We all, you know, we play better. I mean, the sex and drugs have gone. We're just left with the rock and roll, which I'm fucking glad about. You know what I mean? But it's better than ever now. I mean, obviously, I've gone through stages where I fucking hated it and playing the same stuff and this and that. But then you come out of that, you know, and now it's just a joy to be doing it still. Yeah. You know, for our little indie band, you know, it's better than ever at the moment. Fantastic. And the band are better than ever. You know, the band, I mean, all right, we've lost our Paul, he's dead. But we brought Mikey in. Mikey was in the Mondays for 10 years before when our Paul left. And then Mikey was also the bass player in Black Grape, still is. So we just brought Mikey back into the Mondays. So, yeah, it's great. You know, we're all playing really, really good. We just did Dublin, like the arena, the hospital arena, whatever it's called. You know, I mean, and they all as soon as we came on stage, the crowd turned up. So we filled it. It was, you know, what was in there for Noel's High Flying Birds wasn't much different for us. Yeah. You know what I mean? What was there for Primal? So I mean, you know, so yeah, our little indie band went down really well. Little indie band, I love it. Yeah. I'm going to leave you with two last questions. Firstly, how would you describe the Happy Mondays sound in food form? In food form? Fucking hell. A thin crusted pizza with fucking everything on it, I think. You know what I mean? Yeah. Even the anchovies. I mean, yeah, everything. Yeah, stick the lot on it. I love it. And final question, what is your scene? What is my scene? My scene now at 61 years old is like taking it as easy as fuck. Like, you know, don't do the party scene anymore. You know, after the show now, I go back to the hotel, put the news on, and Netflix when I watch the news, and just take it easy. You know, now I'm a boring old cunt.